Tonight, GBI is confirming what we suspected, that treats and snacks that sickened students at Sandtown Middle School contained THC, an active ingredient typically found in marijuana. 28 students in all were taken to the hospital. And tonight, the investigation is focusing on how the treats got into the school in the first place, causing these students to feel disoriented and to hallucinate. Elwin Lopez spoke to school leaders today.
Yeah, Jeff, now they wouldn't say if the treat in question was a Rice Krispie treat, just that it contained cereal and that it was passed out during lunchtime. Right now, students are at the center of the investigation for how that treat got into the school.
There is nothing at this particular point to suggest that these items were brought to the school by any adults. All indications are that they were brought into the building by a student or students.
There could be serious consequences like suspension, expulsion, or even possible criminal charges.
I'm not exactly sure if we would choose to charge that student criminally. However, there is a specific violation of the student disciplinary code.
The school's policy is clear that drugs are not allowed on campus, but it also doesn't allow kids to pass around food.
Candy, baked goods of any type, store-bought or homemade, or other edible items are not to be sold or distributed during school hours unless approved in advance by the administration. Violators are subject to disciplinary action and items will be confiscated.
Now, the school could not say how often this policy is enforced or whether it has been in the past. As for whether there could be anything else in those treats,
it is a very unlikelihood that anything in the other samples will be found other than the contaminant that we just described, THC, which we all know is the primary ingredient of marijuana.
While 28 kids were taken to local hospitals.
As I said before, of the 28, I can confirm that 4 were actually kept for observation. So the average person may just kind of draw some conclusions from that, but we go by facts.
So the school is saying that they took all 28 kids to local hospitals because they were complaining, saying that they weren't feeling well, and so they did so out of precaution, but that only 4 of those students were kept for further observation. It's also important to point out that there are still some samples that need to be tested, but the school says that once that's concluded, they believe the criminal investigation will then come to a close, Cheryl.
All right, a lot of parents watching that really closely, Elwin. Thank you.